themselves. This already makes you believe that Iran is probably aiming for another
Oke,
tank
kita lanjut
jungle.
guys. Di
That is
game kedua
what Angela will
antara
synergize the best
Malaysia
with, so we should expect to
versus
see another
Iran.
Brethren. It also works very well with heroes
First
like a
pick
Ruby
buat
or
Malaysia,
Alice. So
lanslot.
those are the things that Team Malaysia will want to worry about right now. I think it's actually fine to go for something like a
Angela
Ruby early since it is a very flexible hero, but they will kick things off with the Kimmy.
Kita lihat hero yang di ban. Ada Brock, Yusin, Cici,
as a flex hero, you can actually
Isun,
put out
Iesf,
a lot of lanes if you
Baxia.
want to go lane. But prioritize-wise, we do see the popularize of
Ada
Kimmy
Kimi,
being put out by mid lane
Esmeralda.
itself. Mid lane, very easy to clear the minions, very easy to go in for any fights, go and help support from each lane itself, whether on the bottom or the top itself. But not only that, they have the additional of Esmeralda right here in the hands of Team Malaysia.
That is the direct counter to any hero that depends on shielding, and it was previously banned out on the side of Team Iran actually. Team Malaysia going to lock it in this time. But funnily enough, Team Iran not going for the tank jungle pickup actually. They grabbed the Hayabusa. So that might answer some questions about hero pool. Looks like they are confident enough to bring an assassin into the jungle, and that means that this Angela is intended to combo with a side laner instead. This means that Team Malaysia will probably want to start getting rid of picks like the Ruby, like the Alice, like the Yuzong.
Kinda true, yeah. I do agree on that. Those are the crucial things that they have to actually worry about right now. And knowing how, so far, looking off with our first pick or first section of our draft phase right now, right? At the moment, Team Malaysia has a really good response to Team Iran as well as Iran as well. The question is, Team Iran, knowing that how Hayabusa really will be the key sources right now to actually all the effects, and going on the face of banning, they are taking out Lapu Lapu. And we did saw how Lapu Lapu is kind of really great or dangerous combo from Team Malaysia itself, so another respectful bell coming in from the team of Iran.
They're getting rid of Lapu Lapu. Iran might want to stick with something that they tried to pull off in game number 1. So I think they probably want to play Alice EXP lane again. And if Malaysia is aware of this, they could probably just get rid of it. But getting rid of Yuzong is probably a little bit more valuable in the end. You could ban both, but it is likely that Team Iran is going to go for a typical gold laner, so they could start focusing on those as well, like getting rid of the Harith.
Yeah, I kind of agree on that. Yeah, Harith could actually be a potential or even a key point to actually point out as well, because those are the heroes that still looking forward to be put out by Iran. Gold lane is one of the focus at the moment right now, and if kind of actually go into that phase, they will actually kind of small size even counteract for the size of the hero pools for the gold lane itself. So the question is it going to be good for the side of Team Malaysia, or is it going to be kind of counterback for the Team Iran as well?
I think Team Malaysia will probably just ban out another fighter in the end. They already banned Yuzong. They should probably ban Alice as well, especially with Arlet taken out of the pool. It really feels like Team Iran wants to play Alice. So just ban that away. Harith is actually manageable since Malaysia have the Esmeralda already, so they might be willing to let it through. The only thing that Team Malaysia needs going forward with their draft is just crowd control in general, because right now they don't have a lot of it. I'm expecting to see heroes like even the Franco or Kaja could actually make an appearance here, since it works very well against Hayabusa and Angela. Could also be the Cho if you want to stick to something a little more classic.
I mean, they can also take out Tigre as well. I mean, like Implosion can actually be able to actually just kind of have a little bit of control for the AoE as well, the CC. But then again, I'm not sure how they're going to actually try to take down. But then again, we do see the Irritil. But we did talk about Harith, right? The gold lane, they want to actually a little bit scrutinize the hero pools, but they ended up for to actually have the Irritil to be put out. So that means we know how the counter-wise of Irritil, right? Usually it's Granger that is the one thing that they want to actually take down. But Team Iran, they spotted out that Irritil has already been banned off. This is an opportunity for them to say, like, I'm gonna take the Granger for themselves.
I don't know, this feels like bait to me.
Yeah,
we're aware of this.
Yeah.
We're aware that Irritil is a counter to Granger. And by getting rid of that, they already know that Iran probably wants to pick the Granger, which I think is a leading ban, actually. They're trying to make Iran go Granger, and then they can just counter it with a fighter, or they can even go Harif themselves, because they already know that Iran is not willing to pick Harif against an Esmeralda. So Malaysia still has a lot of flexibility in their comp here. Lance and Kimi both scale well, and it looks like it's going to be the Hilda and the Chip making an appearance for Team Malaysia.
Wow. Okay. We talked about how we might actually see Harith, but ended up we did talk about how Hilda, right, is a really good hero to actually utilize the dangerous grass itself, having a really good passive to actually heal herself all by herself, just being in that grass. And Chip, on the other note, I know for a fact after the patch last few months ago, it's not really, how do I say, as powerful as it used to be, knowing for a fact the door gate or the door teleportation can be seen on the map itself, so there's not much of the surprise element, especially the fact that even if you open up the portal itself, it actually opens up an opportunity to be aware by the team enemy Iran. But I feel like Team Malaysia somehow might actually have something that we might not know.
I like the draft coming in from Team Malaysia right now. This is going to be an Esme gold lane as well, so once again the Granger is going to have a bit of a difficult time. The Phoveus last pick is okay, but not very good in my opinion, since we are going to be dealing with a Chip right now. And with the lack of CC coming in, that means that Malaysia is not actually going for a pickoff style comp, even against an Angela. They're just going for full dive. They're going to try and commit to the jungle, dive into the back line, remove the DPSs first, since they do have Chip and Hilda. And that's going to make the game very difficult to play for Team Iran. They got to position perfectly.
Oh, wow. This is really, really intense coming in from even the second draft itself. It's looking much more sturdy compared to the side of Team Malaysia itself. But this is just us analyzing every single one of it. But let's see what it's going to be like here for our second series or second game of our first series. Again, welcome to the WEC 2025 at Kuala Lumpur. You're with me, Fasha Bunny, as well as Dafa. Looking at their battle spells, we are going to see Vengeance, a lot of flickers, as well as we're seeing Arrival as well. And Sprint coming in from Rina. Interesting choice coming out from their own spells, but... Here on out, our second round of our best of 3, Malaysia versus Iran!
Team Malaysia already one game up. One more win will give them a very good positioning, and they're already trying to dive jungle as expected.
Wow. This is crazy coming in right now. Try to go in all out to Lisika. Lisika try to survive it out. Try to chew away a little bit of the moment of Rina as well as Yuki as well as Hani. Try to contest for the buff. But then again, no casualty whatsoever for both sides of the team.
Yeah, it was a little bit aggressive from Malaysia, but they're aware that they're going to be able to do that. That is one of the risks of the Angela mid lane. You just don't have a lot of pressure overall, and that actually allowed Rina to steal away that one jungle camp. Hayabusa going to be slightly behind at this point, but it shouldn't be too big a deal.
Not right now. They're going all out, a little bit of aggression. Torrents not going to actually meet up Yuki. Great positioning from Yuki itself, just roaming around, try to actually spot out anyone from Iran, as well as Neil, even though try to push into Shah as well, they won't have any problem whatsoever to hold their own positioning as individually as well. And Honey, again, we talked about how Kimi, just with the basic attacks and having the stacks already, it gives a lot of the spamming skills to actually push out the minion wave as quickly as possible and to do so much damage to Angela itself.
Kimi is a hero that did get nerfed in the recent small patch in terms of reduction in overall damage in the first couple levels, because this hero was just so oppressive and one of the most flexible picks in the entire meta. Even after the nerfs, I don't think it's quite enough. And Kana, unfortunately, we talked about this. We're going to be giving up first blood in that gold lane.
First blood, but not only that, they're not going to be done there. It's still able to take down by Rina as well. And now moving on to Yuki. Yuki having a lot of pressure as well as support coming in with Shah. Was taken out. Rina surviving out to Raven up and taken out as well. Now they're going to go for Neil. Double kill by Rina itself. Now they not only get 1, they get 3 kills in the hands of Team Malaysia.
Textbook gameplay right here from Team Malaysia. You see a chip, you see a Hilda, you know that your jungle is going to get invaded. And Iran tried to position themselves for it, but because they were trying to position for a turtle first, they were not able to get themselves in the places they needed to be as quickly. And once that shortcut dropped down, it was going to be impossible to fight. They just needed to get out of there as soon as possible. Once again, the lack of early game scaling from Team Iran means that they just don't have tools of dealing with these hyper-aggressive plays from Team Malaysia.
Yeah, definitely. I think the fact that the positioning-wise is really good coming on from Team Malaysia itself, really good response, very good reflex, as well as quick reflex coming in from them itself. After getting that turtle, a great zoning out, straight away Rina comes in to actually finish off the rest of the players of Team Iran. But with 10Ks of economy-wise in their hands, still Team Malaysia have a lot of advantage. And two players right at the bottom right here, with Rina and Shah sticking together, they're allowing a lot of the leeway from the side of Rina to actually get a lot of their buff, a lot of the creeps itself. So this is the question of the Team Iran. Can they actually control the movement of Team Malaysia?
I really don't think so. Unfortunately, the draft just doesn't allow it to happen.
Yep.
They have to play safe. They ideally needed to at least get advantage in one side lane, but here we go again.
Oh, here we go again. Heart Guard has already been put out. Is it going to be enough to actually pull off with AOG been put out? Oh, managed to take down Yuki as well, but Lishika will be taken out by Rina. That's going to be double kill to Neil as well, with even Yuki almost barely surviving, yet Team Malaysia backs up quick, and Rina, triple kill, making it a great job for Team Malaysia to get a great damage, as well as now second turtle will be in his hand.
And this is why I said in my recent tier list that Lancelot could probably have been nerfed a little further. This hero got adjusted. He actually got nerfed a little bit in terms of his Torn Rose cooldown, but that's just not enough. His damage scaling is still so intense overall. And because of the lack of crowd control from Iran as well, they just have no way of locking Arena down. This Lancelot has free reign over the map, and now the snowball is really starting to get out of control.
It's really tough. I feel the fact that Nirvana doing her best, trying to actually hard guard, trying to make sure that there's a lot of the control-wise or even the sustainability-wise for the Team Iran, still not enough. And we talked about how Angela is just not as powerful or as much as capable enough to control the movement of any players from Team Malaysia itself. But coming along right now, as they know for a fact, they're just going to zone out, allow at least the movement of that turret to be taken out. But again, they shut down. AOG been put out right here, gets a little bit of further away, but at the same time here, they had to actually flicker to survive that engagement. And now, it seems that Rina trying to push in, a little bit of push over right here, but it's still not going to actually have any casualty in the hands of Team Iran itself.
Still no punishes coming in here. Honestly, Rina did not need to go for that final dive.
True,
No one was low in. Oh, never mind.
Oh!
Kana gets picked off under her own tower. This Lancelot becoming a huge problem, and the rest of Team Malaysia not far behind. They are really maximizing the use of these heroes to not give Iran any space on the map at all.
Oh, this is tough. Definitely, buff will be taken out immediately.
Oh,
Again, just a
dapat
simple
ayah
basic attack coming from Honey itself with Kimi in the hands. It doesn't give any opportunity for Team Iran to move away. And even Faufau, look at that. Such mobility, such fast-paced movement that Iran couldn't even catch up to her.
There are just no heroes that can catch anyone from Malaysia in the first place. And this is why I was so concerned about the final pick, Phoveus. You don't have anything that can pair together with the Angela properly. You don't have ways of punishing the shortcut dive. And you don't have any ways of locking down hyper-mobile heroes like the Lancelot or even the Hilda in this case. I feel like this game is already in a losing state for Iran, and Malaysia, unless they make a big mistake here, are on a clean path to victory again.
Again, we're just actually talking about how Iran is just depending on Malaysia, and it's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be you depending on your enemy to make mistakes so that you can actually get a win in your hands. What you need to do, actually control yourself. But then again, hard guard, that's gonna be enough. Even Faufau takes down Sherry immediately. Jungler was still away by Team Malaysia. Iran now lost with 4 players still surviving. Even Honey trying to actually get that turret in the hands all by herself. And now Team Iran looking lost as ever, allowing Team Malaysia just conquering every single each movement.
At this point, Lisiska is already too far behind to actually open up the map, and you have an Angela as well, who clearly is not going to be able to walk into any bushes eye on her lonesome, which means that there is no hero on the side of Team Iran that can provide information. Sherry thought that it was a 1v1 between junglers, then 4 people suddenly show up.
Ooh, shadow kills. Trying to make sure to take down Fafao. Look at that. 4 players just try to shut down Fafao by herself. And Fafao just survived it out. Every single thing. Star Moon Shield. She is doing well just by herself and not giving any opportunity for Team Iran. And now comes along puncture by the team of Malaysia. Rina just tried to shoo away Team Iran. And what can they do? Fafao is invincible right here for our second game.
If anything, it looked like Fao was the one with heart guard a moment.
Yeah.
You can see just how little value Angela is able to provide unless you have a proper combo to deal with it. And Esmeralda, this is just typical gameplay for this hero.
Ooh, Trench and Pulse, Lucica right there. Seems that he's gonna dash a little bit, but at the same time, Sherry trying to go all out to the back line, but doesn't get anyone. Fortunately, had to pull away with the shadow, and in the end, had to actually just surrender and give.
Ya ampun ya. Berapa kali dia iklan?
More space for Team Malaysia to get the first loss.
At this stage, I do think that Team Iran are already too far behind. It is a 9k goal lead for Team Malaysia in 9 minutes. This is typically the threshold where you need to pray for a miracle to happen in order for you to get your foundation back into the game. And so far, the movements have been clean. I don't think Team Malaysia is going to allow that to happen.
Oh, Rina is just free. Just roaming around with 601 KDA in her hands. Talking about so much control in the land of Dawn to a point that Iran couldn't even catch up to her. And we talked about how there's not much of a mechanism that is in the hands of Team Iran itself to actually catch or even to grab against. And here a puncher comes through and Lord of Roses trying to get to takes Ghana. Now Nirvana, can he do it? Puncher again! Even though might actually had to surrender or even to sacrifice himself. She got that double kill in her hands. A little bit aggressive, but I like it anyway.
Honestly, that did not need to happen. Giving away an 8-kill shutdown is not really worth it, but hey, it was very cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta play Mlbb to flex on your opponents. There is under no circumstance that she should be allowed to get a double kill diving that deep. There's basically no way out for her.
Oh, Truncheon Plus got 2-0 as well as Lishika, but no follow-up right here. But at the same time, right now, Ja moving along, trying to go in all out to fight. Heart got been put out by Lishika instead, but and again, they are looking forward to actually shut down this Lord, but can he do so? Lord a little bit more, trying to get closer. Oh, not enough though, but at the same time, they're trying to pull in too far. They do manage to actually give a little bit of damage to Shah, so Shah had to pull away. AOD gets down a little bit of far, but not gonna be enough. Rina will be the first one to be taken out. Neil goes in for pulls, and in the end of it, Malaysia goes back again. This is gonna be a back and forth. They steal away, and again, Neil trying to survive it out, but will be taken out by Hani herself. And now, living on with Fafo right at the front lane, just doing as much as possible damage as well as tankiness so that Team Iran doesn't know what's coming into their area.
All things considered, that was actually not too bad for Team Iran. They got a 1-for-1 trade, and that one trade was on Rina, actually dying for the second time in a row. Maybe playing a little bit too deep.
Oh, this is too aggressive coming in. Malaysia, a little bit too much of them trying to actually survive it out, but they are pulling in right here. Lishika, Hargard, unfortunately will not do anything. Kana takes down Lishika, also being shut down as well. Neil trying to pull through, but can he survive it? G will be also be taken out with Sharp and shut down. Rina takes down Real, and it's going to be the second crystal being taken by Team Malaysia.
A clean sweep to kick off WEC 2025 from the team representing the host country. Very impressive performance right there. And hopefully they can keep that momentum going forward. For now, as usual, we'll throw it over to Rose on stage.
Biasa aja loh.
For taking the first win in our opening match of the WEC 2025. And I would like to invite the girls to come join me for a little bit of an interview after their